program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the Ring and All of Sports. My name is Leo Connors, I'm your host, and tonight we got a very special guest, professional wrestler Lord Indigo, formerly known as Deranged and Jersey All-Pro, Ring of Honor, Frank Goodman's USA Pro. So let's get right into it. Lord Indigo, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Leo?
I'm doing great, thanks. Like I told you off air, man, thank you so much for this. Like when I started this, you were one of the guys I wanted to get on the show. So we'll get right into it. Where did you grow up?
I actually grew up in East Harlem, and yeah.
Okay. Did you play sports as a kid?
Oh yeah, I was. Baseball was my religion back then. I used to play on like 4 teams every summer simultaneously. I was on all-star teams, track meet teams.
Nice.
I was kind of into basketball too, but I never stuck with it like I did baseball. Baseball was real passion. It was actually my dream before I fell into it.
Nice. Okay. Did you play any sports in high school or anything?
Fortunately, the high school that I went to didn't have any sports teams. That's pretty scarce in the city, New York.
Yeah.
The high schools don't really have like their own football fields or soccer fields, so they tend to not really have many options as far as the team. But there are some, but I just didn't luck out and end up at school that had a team, especially a baseball team.
Okay. How old were you when you discovered professional wrestling?
Discovered it as far as participating in it, or
No, when you
just
like your first time you saw it on TV.
Wow, I'm pretty sure that had to be from birth, from 1 year old. I mean, I don't have a memory of wrestling that young, but I know that at some point, probably around the age of 6 or 7, my dad took me to my first WWE house show.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
where was that?
That was at Madison Square Garden.
Wow, so that's a place I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah. Oh, you have?
Never been to Madison Square Garden.
Wow, that's a must. That's got to be on your bucket list.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when you were young, were your friends into wrestling too, or was it just really you?
Oh yeah. We used to jump around on the couches, on the mats, even in the hallways of the housing projects, because that's where I was raised, in the housing projects. And the hallways were made of marble, and we used to pick each other, slam each other on it. And I remember one time, my best friend, he put me in Austin crab until I couldn't breathe anymore. Like, I was always the smallest guy, so friends would take liberties, and they would put me in a sharpshooter or Boston. They would not let go, even if I was telling them I was behind. And they one time I put me in a Boston crab until I blacked out. My face just dropped and hit the marble floor. And when I woke up, I had 2 huge slits on each side of my eyes.
Wow.
It was horrible.
Right. Now, who were some of your favorites when you first started watching wrestling? Were you a Hulkamaniac?
Oh, of course I had a Hulk fever, but I always found myself leaning towards the Ultimate Warrior, and I was huge for Rockers. Like, loved them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, how could you not love Shawn, man, back then? Those guys were a great tag team. All right, so we're going to get into, like, your training and stuff. Who trained you?
Well, I kind of went through different phases of my career. First, I was kind of on a self-taught thing. I mean, I met a couple of guys at this infamous place known as Pedro's that a lot of guys that we're familiar with came from. Like Amazing Red, uh, Brian Excel, Low Key, Homicide, Low Life Louis. I can name so many more, but I'll keep that short. I ended up there after they left. Pardon my annoying cough right now. I'm just
That's all right. Sorry.
allergies. Um, yeah, so I ended up there first. Uh, I was learning some little things, basic fundamental things from AC Smith and Mike Haslett. Then one day, AC Red and Joel Maximo showed up. They said that I guess it was their cousin or something that had still been listening to them, had mentioned me to them because said that I reminded him a lot of Red. I was already doing some lucha stuff and flipping around. I just didn't know anything yet.
Right.
And so they picked up and I guess they invited me to be part of their clique. They wanted to enter their wing. And they did. They brought me to the doghouse for the first time. And that's when they kind of, between Edge, Jose Maximo, Quiet Storm, Stefan, between all of them, they kind of taught me little by polish of my bumping, my footwork, running the ropes, suplexing, and things like that. And then they kind of started hanging at Mikey Whipwright's. At that time, I wasn't really big into traveling yet. Like, I hadn't gotten accustomed to that. So it was easy for me to just go straight from high school every day after school to Brooklyn on the J train and just go to the doghouse.
Right.
So that's where I started to get to know people like Homicide, Low Key, Tower of Torture, Lathan, Low Life Louis. I even met Azrael there, but we were pretty fresh at the same time. And Lathan, Homicide, he were ones who, for the most part, would put me a lot of drills and some of that infamous doghouse hard knocks training. They kicked my ass all over the place, and they never went easy on me. Which a lot of people nowadays they talk about that style of training, but in my opinion, it kind of helped mold me into a tougher person. I was more not only physically but more mentally equipped for the wrestling business because the wrestling business is a really tough place to be,
Yeah.
And only being about 14, 15 years old at that time, I definitely needed that,
Right.
So those are everybody I just mentioned. They've had a big hand in my training, getting to this point.
Nice. And there's a lot of those guys are on the name game later, so that's pretty cool. Now,
Awesome.
did you go to any indie shows when you were young? Like before you got into wrestling?
No. Actually, I had no idea that these even existed until I became a wrestler.
Right.
Red and Joel did invite me to a doghouse show. And the very first UCW show that Jack Sabbath put on at the Elks Lodge.
Right.
That was like it. That was the first day everyone saw Red for the first time, and you're there and Low Key and seeing Low Key versus Tajiri that night.
Right.
That was crazy. But yeah, those were the only two indie shows I had gone, and I had already taken my first bump by then, so
Okay.
I didn't know the indies existed. I was barely even familiar with CW because I couldn't stay up that late. I was too young.
Well, I'll tell you, Rob, Jack used to put on some good shows there. I actually have a few of them at home, like on DVD that I bought. I think I got them from the
I'm gonna have to get some of that footage.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so in your very first match, I think you said earlier, you like off air, you wrestled Ghost Shadow?
Yeah.
And how was
Ghost
that? How
Shadow.
did your first match go? I know you must have been nervous.
Yeah, I would get because that night changed my life forever. I never even expected to be there. Um, Initially, when I went to Pedro's is where I met Shadow, and he used to teach me all these funky submission holds, and he's the first person that got me familiar with the lucha libre style. I used to watch AAA a lot with my dad at home,
Yep.
but Ghost Shadow was the first person to like actually teach me this stuff, and so we kind of already got to know each other. We both drifted off to the doghouse where we got acquainted even more. You know, he taught me a lot of lucha, a lot of head scissors, and arm drags, different types. And he didn't just teach me them, he taught me how to perfect them, how to make them look clean and tight, you know. That's why if you ever watch a match between me and Shadow, you see us do lucha and you kind of watch some other lucha, and you can see a difference, you know,
Yeah.
in our technique.
He had
But that was a big night.
right. No, I was gonna say he actually had like a unique style. I remember seeing them the first time, and it was a little different than normal wrestlers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. We brought a lot of moves that people at that time had never seen before.
Right.
That people are now doing as much as you do a headlock. It's
Yep.
like those moves are so common now. Back then, when we did a lot of these moves, people were like, "Who are these guys? Where did they come from?" And that's why that match with me, that debut him at the ECW, was big for us because up until then, like you didn't see anything too intricate. Like the biggest high flying moves you saw was maybe a Phoenix Splash or Swanton Bomb. You know,
Right.
you didn't see these funky head scissors and arm drags too often unless you clicked on AAA or watched some old panties.
Right.
But I was super nervous tonight because I never anticipated even reaching that level as a wrestler. Um, I at first did it for fun. Next, thing you know, there I was debuting at the ECW arena for Jersey All Pro, and I remember being backstage before the match. I felt sick. I felt like I was gonna throw up, and people saw it. They saw me pacing back and forth. I didn't let anyone talk to me. I was chewing my nails. And, I remember somebody was like, "Hey, the Reigns is nervous," and Balls Mahoney was back there. God rest his soul. He was a great guy. And he tried to make it was like, "Oh, you nervous?" He was like, "Well, this is nothing. Wait till you walk out there. You know what building you're wrestling in right now? This is the ECW arena. This is Philadelphia. This is the toughest crowd in professional wrestling. Good luck." I was like, "Oh my
Wow.
god!"
Yeah. That's
But everything went well, and went nuts, and we got a standing ovation, and that's I will never forget that because I don't think I don't think everyone gets a standing ovation in their very first match and as a pro wrestler.
right. Most people tell me their match was horrible. You know what I mean? A lot of people debut in battle royals too. You know.
Yeah,
Now, why don't you?
we came prepared.
Yeah. Now I know what happened in your fourth match, but let's tell all these guys that are watching. You wrestled Ghost Shadow again for the Jersey All Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight title. And I've
Yeah,
seen that match, and that was unbelievable. You guys killed it, really. It's unbelievable, and it holds up to this
thank you.
day. Like you were saying, how everybody does all these flippy moves and all that. Now we're at the more common, but like back then, like you said, nobody was really doing it, and it was an incredible match.
Yeah, at this point, like, people went nuts for that first match encounter we had. We went and did it again in Bayonne, Jersey. That night in Bayonne, I- we debuted the Sunset Flip Powerbomb,
Oh wow!
what everyone calls the Code Red. But that's a whole nother story. Uh, but yeah, so people were going nuts over this match, and they kept booking me for Shadow. And here we are, fourth time in a row, again at the ECW arena. And I think Xavier had the belt this time for some reason. He stripped, and Frank comes out in the middle of our match. Um, we had no idea this was happening. Um, and he lets everyone know that Killshare was going to be stripped, and now this match was a title match for the heavyweight title. So again, got super sick.
Right.
But I won the match that night, and I won my first title, professional wrestling, and it was my fourth match, and I was 17 years old. So it was really crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Seeing we brought him up before we played, I want to know your feelings about the late, great Fat Frank, who I met a couple times, because I don't know if you remember when Jersey All Pro came to Mass. I catered those shows too, along with when I met you when I catered all the ROH shows. But Frank,
I remember seeing.
yeah, Frank was a good guy, man. I didn't know him, obviously, like all you guys down there, but honestly, he treated me like I was one of his own that night, I'll tell you.
Dude, Frank was. It's crazy because, like, you only saw him really laugh amongst his friends much. You see him walk around, he looks like a serious guy sometimes, but he was really hilarious, down to earth, and he had a really good, he had a real tough exterior, but he had a big heart. He loved to just help people and give people a shot, and he was never. If somebody fucked up or didn't really do what they needed to do, he didn't make a huge deal out of it. He was so laid back. He'd be like, "Oh, whatever, fuck it, do it better next time," But I'm not gonna say that I was super close with him either. I got to know him really well during my time in Jersey All Pro, but I didn't hang out with him so much outside of wrestling. I probably went to a couple of barbecues, but people like Steve Mack, Matram, who shot all the videos.
Yeah, Martron Productions, yep.
Guys like that, maybe Homicide, Loki, they know Fat Frank a lot better than me. But from what I know, my time around Frank, he was a great guy. He was hilarious. The first thing everyone will say is he's one of the funniest people you ever meet. Like, and he was all about ribbing people. And his rib, his pranks were extreme. Like, if I got time to tell you a story, after a Philly show, we were all at the hotel. And I remember being in a room with a few of the students and Insane Dragon, who wrote Izzy.
Yep.
Maybe Dixie was there too. We all kind of fell asleep in this room, but me and Dragon woke up early because Fat Frank walked in. I think with a couple of other people behind him. And he's like, guys are still sleeping, huh? And then he goes, I'll be right back. So he leaves back with a cup of his own feast.
Oh, no.
And he just sits it on the dresser drawer of the hotel room, and he leaves. And the room starts reeking like shit.
Right?
So little by little, everyone's waking up like, oh, what the fuck is that? And then he comes back, and he says that he didn't wipe, and he sat on someone's face.
Ah. Yeah, I guess his ribs were very extreme.
But we all used to give it to each other back. So
Right.
I'm not trying to make it seem he was awful. Whoever got it, he deserved it.
Right.
So yeah, Frank was the guy, and I'm never gonna forget him, because if it weren't for him giving me that shot at Jersey Pro,
Right.
I don't even know where my life would have went.
Right. And those shows
sure.
back then were unbelievable. Seriously, I have like 20 of those DVDs, seriously, and I got them through RF, from when I did the catering. I also got a lot when I did the 2 shows when you came to Mass. Now, obviously, with the Jersey All Pro, you got hooked up with them through Homicide and those guys, right?
Yeah, well, Homicide brought me out to Bayonne one night, and he didn't say anything. Just brought us there, and he said, Frank, I want you to see these guys go. And we did what we did, and Frank was like blown away.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very cool. Before I get into we move on to ROH and stuff, which I'm dying to do, but Were you one of the first guys to take the cop killer pretty much on a regular basis when Homicide started using that move? Because it seemed like you were getting it like all the time.
It seems that way, but honestly, I only wrestled Homicide twice.
Okay.
I think it's just I might have taken him more brutal than most people,
Yeah.
so maybe people remember those
Right.
more. But yeah, I took one in Bayonne and checked once. That was the worst one. I shit you not, I still feel it to this day.
Right.
It's totally my fault though, because I was into making sure everything looked as just as real as possible.
Right.
I didn't care about protecting so much. The other time he did it to me in the outside, but I wouldn't say that I've taken.
Okay.
I think maybe Dixie
Yeah.
got it more than me.
Yeah, you think Dixie did? That's funny. All right. Well, I want to talk a little about the seaside shows that they used to put on. I mean, you were pretty much on all of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and now, how was it like? How was it like working? That's right on the boardwalk, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, and that was before that Jersey Shore TV show even
Right.
happened.
That's what I mean. So I mean, I know how you had a lot of people at those shows.
Yeah, yeah. That was actually like my first taste of really big crowds.
Right.
Before ROH came around,
Yep.
we had those seaside shows, and that was a fun time because we would go out there the night before, have fun on the boardwalk, do the shows, have fun on the boardwalk. And I was easy matches there too. I remember one of the first like scramble matches, SAT against me and Izzy against Snake Dragon, and the third team was Jay Lethal, young Jay Lethal.
Yep.
And the partner he had, Range, who, if I had to describe him, he was like Zach Evans
Okay.
kid.
Yep.
Yeah, and we had a three-way. Me and Izzy, the Hit Squad against the Briscoes.
Okay.
They were only 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, we had two matches with them out there. So yeah, it was crazy times.
Now that team with Izzy that wasn't Wasted Youth. You were part of Wasted Youth. Was that what Id say?
Yeah, that
okay.
we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that was like the early shades of. It
Right.
was very similar gimmick, you know.
Yeah.
We were just being wild teenagers that party.
Right. Now you had said too that it was scramble matches. So I was actually going to ask you later. So ROH didn't really come up with the scramble matches then, huh? It was already being done like a Jersey All Pro.
Well, I would say that the scramble match, the scramble name, was kind of coined by ROH, but the actual concept just came from us doing Lucha Libre rules matches.
Right.
So it actually originated in Mexico. You know,
Oh, okay. Yep.
the Lucha Libre rules they aren't really tagged. If you notice, a guy will get peeled out, and the next guy will run right in.
Right.
They'll go at it, you know. So that's what we were kind of doing, and eventually this way up to ROH, and they called it a scramble match.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we're going to move up to ROH. I know that the late, great Doug Gentry came up with the Special K gimmick. You know, I've told you a million times it's my favorite faction of all time in professional wrestling because you guys killed it. But, I mean, you guys, it was unbelievable. You know, you had such a great group of young guys, you know what I mean? And you just played the role just right. I mean, honestly, young, rich, little snotty little brats, you know, who wanted to do nothing but have raves and do drugs, you know what I mean? It was just a great gimmick. How did they approach you? Like, did Rob say something to you? Did Doug, you know, like, how did they approach you for that?
Well, I remember the first time it was mentioned to me, it was in the Elks Lodge. I think the night that I here for the Extreme title at USA Pro, they pulled me into a room, met King the first time. They told me that they had this promotion just starting up called Ring of Honor. And they told me who they wanted me to be a Special K. And it was going to consist of all the guys that I already was accustomed to wrestling and hanging out. And I was like, oh, sure, you know, and they explained it to us. They said, you know, we want you to kind of just do what you already do. You know, be silly, but take it up 10 notches, like
Right.
exaggerate. Like now you rich kids, you party, you get girls, you're always tripping, you're always high, you're always dancing. It was easy because it was kind of an exaggerated version of ourselves. Like
Right.
that, we were known for this already behind the scenes. I don't want to get any heavy hard drugs or anything, but
Right.
we partied. And they always saw us with girls all the time. So
Right.
it was just an exaggeration.
It was like I said, it was a great gimmick. I mean, you had so many guys coming in too. I mean, with some experienced guys, like when they brought in Joey Matthews and things like that, and then they brought the
Yeah.
guys from England, Jody Fleiss, Johnny Storm. I mean, this was a
Yeah.
great. I thought it was a great gimmick, and you guys debuted that gimmick in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
That
there.
was crazy.
Yeah,
That was a crazy. Well, we had like a 5-on-5 scramble match tonight.
right.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh, that was a crazy match. It was me, Slim J, Izzy, Dixie, Joey Matthews, yes, Amazing Red, Safety, and Divine Storm.
Right. Chris Devine and
And the
Quiet
crowd was
Storm.
so
Yeah.
nuts.
Right.
Yeah, the crowd was so nuts in Boston. That was my first taste of Boston. I loved it.
Right. Yeah, the crowds were hot in Boston. We were dying for something different. It's nice. The local promotions were good, but this thing just was like unbelievable. To anybody that was an indie fan, you knew you had to be there. That's why, like the very first show they had in Wakefield, when I went to the
Yeah.
show, I said, "How can I be a part of something like this?" And then a light bulb went right off, man. I said, "I can bring them food." I called Rob that Monday, worked out a deal, and next thing you know, I'm catering until he lost the company. Just
Yeah.
all the Massachusetts shows. But I don't know if you know this. He actually hooked me up. I've catered for Dreamer's House of Hardcore 3 times already. I did his
Wow.
I did his debut show. I did his 5th show, and I did his 13th show. And I'm hoping he comes to Boston. I'll cater again. Those drives to Philly, man, are pretty long.
Yeah, I know. And imagine for us, we had
Oh,
to
yeah.
drive to Boston, we had to drive to Philly, we had to drive to Ohio, Illinois, and but it was worth it, man. That era of Ring of Honor was so special. That roster was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like half those guys are in WWE right now running the show. It's crazy. And I honestly feel like we picked up where ECW left off,
Right.
kind of raising the standard and changing the game a bit. Because I feel like at some point, even WWE had to catch up with us.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Because we were catching up.
Yeah. Did you think Ring of Honor was going to take off so quick how it did? Did you you know what I mean? It was unbelievable.
No, we had no idea when we signed the contracts. We had no idea what it was. It didn't exist yet.
Right.
And yeah, next thing you know, shows just kept getting bigger and bigger, more and more people. The production was getting nicer, bigger, brighter lights. We were seeing guys from all over the country coming in, AJ Styles,
Yep.
Sami Zayn, Kevin
Right.
Steen, Cesaro, all these people.
Yeah. Christopher Daniels.
It goes on and on.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, you were right though. Best roster in their history in any independent company at the time for sure. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I went there and I knew I wanted to be a part of it somehow because it was special. It really, really was.
Yeah.
And it really sucked when, Rob had to get rid of it because Carrie Silken and them just wasn't the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely missed Rob and Doug. They were great, man, and they were so open-minded. They were always open to ideas, and they were pretty laid back. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Carrie do it too.
Right.
But
Not
at the
to
time
me.
when they were kind of in charge of creative things,
Yeah.
it was just so easy to work with them. They were so open-minded and cool about everything. Doug was the man. He acted like he was like our uncle.
Right. Yeah, I
It's
can't
sad
believe.
to see that he was so young.
Yeah, it's been like 6 years, I think, since he passed. 5 or 6 years. It's been quite a while. I know that.
Yeah.
was I going to say here? Well, like I said, you guys were, it was a big, big Ring of Honor just like took off. Special K, you guys were put in the main events almost immediately.
Yeah.
You know, and it was great because you guys had that different group, so it wasn't always the same guys in there. I can remember one time that Izzy and Dixie took on the Carnage crew in Boston. Remember the bloodbath they had, the country whipping match? That was like insane match.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be left out of that.
Right?
But yeah, I remember that. I remember the scramble cages. I remember the feud with Just Incredible and Carnage Crew.
Yep.
It was just crazy. We didn't expect to be an event. You know, we thought at best mid card or even curtain jerk.
Right.
You know.
Oh, no doubt.
Because there was so many huge and incredibly talented guys there. You know, we didn't even mention Paul London, Brian Kendrick. You know,
Michael Shane. I mean, it was just the list went on. Samoa Joe. I mean, the list just went on. And to see you guys right there at the top was incredible. Might as well jump into the name game here. But first, I want to ask you, how was it working with Dusty Rhodes? Because I know he did it. He did. I remember the night he came in and like took his all out with this bionic elbow. That had to have been a dream come true. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, what was even more flattering is that he didn't get to hit me or Jay Lethal with the bionic elbow. We're the ones that actually got to cut him off and beat down.
Nice.
But although I love to get hit with that bionic elbow,
right?
He didn't act like the way we would treat, you know, such legendary like staple he is, and he walked into that locker room like treat everyone equal, like we were just all family immediately, just as all in the same locker room. He didn't walk in there like I'm Dusty Rhodes, you know, I'm gonna sit in this corner,
right?
To me, and you know, and he was so cool. And if you had any questions, he'd stop and he'd let you pick his brain. It didn't matter if we're like the pre-show match for the main event. Like he always wanted to share his knowledge. He always wanted to contribute, make sure everybody improved and better.
Nice. And it's no surprise then how he ended up going down to the Performance Center and, you know what I mean, FCW, and helping so many of those guys out, you know? So it's nice to see that, you know, he was so helpful. Another guy that was helpful to some of you guys was when Eddie Guerrero came in and took on, I think it was Super Crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Eddie Guerrero, I didn't get to spend time with him in ROH. I did see him a couple times at the Elk Lodge. But from what I remember, he was so a very approachable guy, super humble,
right?
Like really, like soft-spoken, respectful. He'd shake your hand, bow his head to you,
right?
You know, even if he had no idea who you were, you know,
right?
He'd show you respect as an equal, and I think that's why a lot of people love him so much, still do, and still remember, you know.
Yeah. Because I remember I had asked Hanson, you know what I mean, what it was like, you know, with him in the ring, and he's like, he was unbelievable, helpful, humble, just nice to every single person. You know, he went out of his way, you know what I mean, actually to shake people's hand that would come into the room, you know, and that's pretty amazing. Because, like you said, I mean, especially people that you really enjoy, you know, watching wrestling and all that, and they come in and they're nice. It's got to be awesome. So, all right, let's keep going down. We'll start the name game now, and how about? Say, you can tell me stories, couple words, whatever you want about each guy that I mentioned. Homicide.
Man. I mean, I owe him a lot. Tough. Real. His criticism was the best. Because if you sucked, he would just say it.
Right.
It's like that. No, that fucking sucked. Like, and he, you know, he some of the most, him and Loki put the toughest training that I think anyone would ever experience. Anyone would ever experience again, because now the philosophies at wrestling school now, which is understandable, they want to care of their students a little more. They don't want to beat them up, but I feel like I had a huge benefit from homicide kicking my ass.
Right.
I was a 14, 15-year-old, 120-pound kid. Because of his mentorship and his method of training, I was able to hold my own with that anybody, even if they were the size of a miss.
Right.
No one was able to pick. But so homicide, yeah, real dude. Tough.
Yeah, he's actually been so nice to me over the years because obviously I met, ROH, Jersey All Pro, the catering jobs. He was at a lot of the House of Hardcore shows too that the 3 that I catered. Treats my grandson who's 9, like him and Eddie Kingston treat my grandson seriously, like they're their uncles. Like, you know what I mean? They're his uncles. They just awesome,
yeah,
awesome
your family,
guys.
bro. You've
Thanks.
been around forever.
I always say I'm not in the wrestling business, but I sure am around it.
Yeah.
Low key. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you had a match in Boston with him where he came out and kicked the living crap out of you that night.
I'm gonna correct that
Okay.
and say that was Rex Flex jersey.
Oh, okay. All right. But I know he came out of
I'll
Boston.
never forget that one.
Stiff kicks, huh? Stiff everything, actually, probably.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people actually, out of all the matches I've had, that is probably the most mentioned one when people approach me.
Right.
Because they want to know what that was like. They even want sometimes ask me why it happened. And a lot of people assume that Loki was having one of his episodes and decided to just go try to kill everyone. But no, that was Loki.
Right.
When you got in the ring with Loki, that's what you had to expect. Loki always expected you to be at your best. If you were in the ring with him, he had a very high standard.
Right.
And if you slip up even a little bit, he's gonna wake you up and let you know that you slipped up a little. Now, he didn't slip up much in that match. I think there was more of a bias for me because that was the match for me. That was gonna be of a push.
Right.
Yeah. And, that's why they gave me Loki to test me.
Yep.
And who better, right?
Yeah.
So on top of that, Loki being familiar with me as one of their students at the doghouse, he wasn't going to show me any mercy.
Right.
He trained me to handle that. So that beating, that was just another training for me. That was graduation.
Right. Yeah, he was stiff with a lot of guys. But I understand what you're saying because obviously he knew you could take it too. You know what I mean? You had trained with him for so long. How about a guy that left the wrestling game and is doing not too bad in MMA, Xavier?
Oh, he's cool, man. He's one of the nicest guys. Like, for somebody that was such a good leader for all those years,
right?
You'd be surprised if you got to know him as a person. Like, super nice, man, and always willing to help anybody. He's not selfish. He's ready to just give and contribute, help you out even outside of the business. He's looked out for me a lot, especially recently. He's given me a lot of words of encouragement when I wanted to quit. He's gotten in the ring with me past few months, train, help get me back into ring shape when I first came up. Yeah, he's a really good dude and super, super talented. Like, I really thought that WWE was gonna pick him up that back then.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. I know he worked a few like Shotguns and Jacked. I know I seen him do those shows.
Velocity.
Yeah, Velocity, all those things. Now, isn't he helping Red actually make his comeback now? I saw a video the other day. It looked like, Red's in the weight room and Xavier's kind of helping him out.
Oh, man, yeah. I was working out with Xavier because I recently moved from the East Coast out to the West Coast.
Right.
Before I left, Xavier was training me like that too.
Nice.
And I had some plans. And it's brutal, man. His workouts are intense. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, you could tell anyway.
So you can't move your limbs anymore.
Right.
So definitely is be ready.
Right. One of my favorite tag teams. And how many times did they throw you against the wall? The Hit Squad. I know one video, real quick. I have to say this. I saw you in a video one time. They come out of the ring and the camera goes right on you, and you're like, "Not these guys again." You know, like you were like scared and like kind of pissed that that they were gonna come and kick your ass again. You know. How about wrestling those guys?
That became a routine, man. Getting my ass kicked by the Hit Squad, but it was fun. Some of the most fun I've had in wrestling matches. Period. I loved wrestling the Hit Squad so much because, I mean, yeah, they were having fun tossing us around everywhere. I mean, they threw me into a ceiling. They threw me into walls.
Yeah.
Power bombed us into walls. They killed us, but again, it was like graduation with them.
Yeah.
I was part of their family, Hit Squad family, and they were just pushing us to the limit. And I think that was me and Izzy's first time, like being in the ring so often. Experienced guys that were teaching us and molding us and making us better. They made us better. They took us from green to like slightly better than green.
Right. Now, I don't know if you ever trained with him or not, but a guy that's been, that's done a lot for the new group coming out of New York, all the new wrestlers, Magic.
What? Magic. And I love that dude so much. And so does everyone else.
I was going to say, everybody loves him.
I wish all the success in pro wrestling because he deserves it. You know, I would love to see him in the big time because just his attitude overall. He's such a positive guy. Always has a smile on his face. Always laughing. Always cracking jokes. Such a big skilled dudes at times.
Yep.
He's one of the nicest guys in wrestling. And again, not getting repetitive with it. He's always willing to help people, always sticking his neck out, always giving somebody a shot. And we had some good music. We had some matches against him partners when they were the Shaolin Wrecking Crew.
Yep.
And it was fun working Magic. Magic used to just let us do whatever we wanted.
That's awesome. How about RF, Rob Feinstein? Rob Feinstein.
Rob Feinstein, he was awesome. He was another dude. He kind of kept to himself a lot, but as I talked to him, he was really cool. He was always friendly. And like I said, when he was running these tournaments, he was always open-minded, always open to ideas. It's just easy to work with. He's not that, you know. Yeah, people might have heard.
Exactly. Sorry, we'll go with probably the guy that threw more temper tantrums than you've ever seen, right? Gabe Sapolsky.
Oh man, he's passionate.
Yeah,
he really cares about what he does. He's a brilliant guy, man. He's ROH, you know. He put it on the map, and he grow and grow and grow and grow. And his eye for talent is amazing. I mean, look back at that roster from 2007 and on. You know, you can't say Gabe is not brilliant.
Right. Oh, no, absolutely not. I was just joking because he did throw a lot of tantrums.
Yeah, no. Typical producer. Just any little thing goes wrong, he's like, ah!
Yeah, it was.
He cares, but it's because he cares so much.
Right, absolutely.
I think that's why he's been so successful.
Absolutely. And I mean, he's doing a pretty damn good job with Evolve, too, right now. So obviously he's, he's got a great mind for the business. We're going to start going down. Go ahead.
Is this, I know this is a little abnormal, but can we pause for a minute? Because.
Yeah, go ahead.
This laptop.
What's the matter? What happened?
The battery is about to go.
Well, go grab a charge. It's all right. I'll talk. Go ahead. Just go do it quick.
All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. I got it covered. Yeah, so guys, I mean, if you've never seen Lord Indigo, Deranged, whatever wrestler, you really do need to go to YouTube and punch this stuff in because I'll tell you, the work he did in Ring of Honor, the work he did in Jersey All Pro, working for Frank Goodman, the matches he had, I mean, he's wrestled a lot of big names, guys. He's SAT, Amazing Red, Trent Acid, Tony DeVito and Loken, the Carnage crew. He's had matches with Jay Lethal and Jersey All Pro. Danny DeMonto. He's just been in the ring with a lot of great guys. Samoa Joe. B-Boy. Slick Wagner Brown, for the local guys. The Christopher Street Connection, which is a great tag team. If you've never seen them, it's incredible. A great tag team, He's been in the ring with, like you were saying earlier, Divine Storm. Chris Divine and Quiet Storm. Guys, I'm sorry about my earpieces, but they fall out, and I'm going to buy myself a new pair because these things, I want to just rip them out of my head and throw them on the ground because it's driving me absolutely insane. Seriously, it really is. So he's going to charge it up, and we'll get right back into it, But I'll tell you, Ron.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right, man. Not a problem.
I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Okay. I was just talking about, some of the guys you've been in the ring with. You've been in the ring with a lot of guys, But next time, I want to talk about, more guys you've been in the ring with. Before I get into the Special K group, right? I don't have a lot of good friends in the wrestling business. Like I said, I'm good friends with Hanson. And, but one other guy I became really friendly with is Trent Acid. Anything to say about Trent?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Trent, my God. That one still hurts a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely.
I'm not going to say I was.
Right.
But we were close.
Yeah.
Close. I can honestly say he had a lot of love for me. And I had a lot of love for him. We spent a lot of time together backstage at every in the Northeast.
Yep.
I've been to his house. He was super cool, man, and he just had he was so charismatic.
Yeah.
And he was smooth, and then out there in the ring, like, super talented, man. He was able to keep up with anybody. And he has so much talent. Look, the speed.
Yep, he did.
He had the ability to go on, and he definitely would have made it to the WWE had that unfortunate incident not happened.
Right, absolutely. He had so much talent. And the Backseat Boys were a great tag team. Unbelievable. Rest in peace, Trent.
Yeah.
How about, we might as well talk about him, Johnny Cashmere, his partner.
Johnny Cashmere, that was another dude. Also have spent time at his house with some of the guys, partying, chilling. He was real laid back. He wasn't as, like, outgoing,
right,
wild as Trent, but he was a cool guy. He never gave any bad attitude that I know of.
Right.
And he was always cool with me. So.
Yeah. Well, like you said, though, he was more laid back than Trent because when obviously I met them at the same time, and Trent we just hit it off, And Johnny was, like you said, good guy, but definitely more laid back. We got about 9 minutes to go, so I want to start at least going through these Special K guys.
Sure.
Azrael.
That's my brother, man. We started together, and we had so many matches together. Tag matches, singles, against, with. He was super talented, man. He had the potential to be the next Guerrero. I don't know what happened, why he didn't get by a major company, but that dude had a lot of passion for wrestling. He's made a lot of sacrifices for wrestling, and I think he deserves better.
Right.
But he definitely really, really talented, dedicated to the craft.
Right. What sticks out to me the most is that match he had at the Rec Center against Jay Lethal, the ladder match. That was unbelievable. Seriously, I couldn't believe that match was unreal. Seriously.
That's a classic Jay match right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jay Lethal, what about Jay? You still talk to him at all?
Yeah, we talk all the time. That's my brother, man. I'm never going to forget him because we spent a lot of time together in the ring,
Right.
I was actually second wrestling match, his second opponent ever.
Really?
Like before he even made it onto the pro JP shows, when he was still just a student.
Right.
His first student show match was against Dixie. His second was against me, and me and Dixie both did the job to him, and because we believed in him.
Yeah.
The first day we saw that kid at school at Charity Hall, we were like, we had like we gave a special attention to him because he was learning so fast.
Right.
Like, you know, he was doing drop kicks and German suplexes with a bridge and tiger suplexes with a bridge, and the kid had been wrestling for like weeks. It was insane,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And he was already fit. He just knew this kid was special. So we always not afraid to put him over in matches and make him look good.
Right.
And man, I wrestled him so many times at JAP, so many times in our weights, side by side or against each other.
Yep.
We, we're always gonna be part of each other's lives, even if we lose contact. But luckily, we haven't lost contact. Still stays in touch, and
Nice.
we have our laughs and do our business. He's a great guy. He's cool. He deserves everything that he's.
Oh yeah, he's achieved a lot. I mean, holding that Ring of Honor title and the TV title at the same time, it was incredible. Jay Lethal, I'm very happy to see the success he's had. Dixie.
I love that dude too. That's my brother as well. I practiced back in the Jersey All Pro days when I was still a teen. I practically lived in him and Izzy's house. I was there every day.
Right.
Even when they weren't shows, I would just end up on their couch. I was so close with those dudes. I was like the third brother in that house. I love him and his family, but he's a great dude. He had so much potential as well. He was such a good technical wrestler.
Yeah.
He practiced great psychology in the ring. He was big on psychology. He was big on technical wrestling, and he was real passionate about it. I wish he would have gotten bigger opportunities because he really deserved it.
Oh, absolutely.
Smart kid in that ring.
Right. And his brother, Izzy, Insane Dragon, the same thing. I mean, he was phenomenal too.
Yeah, he was. He's the one that he was like the first person I got really close to Jersey All Pro when I got there. People used to compare us all the time.
Right.
Because he used, not only because of the stops, but also were nicknamed Blue at the time. His name was Blue Dragon and everyone called him Blue. And Amazing Red and Joel back then called me Blue because they figured I was going to be the next Red and I'd be Blue.
Right.
But I didn't stick with that. I went with Deranged instead. But yeah, I got with Insane Dragon, and our chemistry was so dope that we ended up in a tag team together, and it worked for a while. We were super old JP, and he motivated me, and we always tried to out each other. The fun part.
Right. Nice. How about I'm going to skip a bunch. I have to ask you, Rev Hansen.
That dude is hilarious. But so real, man.
Right.
He doesn't have a filter, and I love him for that because he doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks about him.
Yep.
Who he pisses off. Who gets offended. I mean, he doesn't say things to offend people, but he just speaks his mind. He's always honest. And as a referee, he was one of the most referees I've ever met. Like, it was almost like he could be a wrestler because he'd be backstage with us, we'd call the matches, and he would jump in and he put 2 cents. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. You got to do this at this point. This kid had such a business, and he paid attention, and he just became really he's my favorite rep of all time.
A lot of
I think
people.
He was really good.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that about him. They really have.
Yeah.
Let's try to get a few more of these special. Okay, Becky Bayless.
She's cool. Me and her are still friends. We don't talk much, but I actually heard from her and still got a lot of love for each other. It was a lot of fun working with her too. She was always positive and happy, so it was always a good vibe around Becky Davis.
Nice.
Yeah, never an issue with
How about Slim J?
You know, for a while when he was first with us, I thought he was awesome. He was doing everything right. You know, he looked like Eminem. Um, but he was also he was just a nice, humble kid from Georgia, you know. And I recently reconnected with him on social media, and he's got a better body now. And I think he had like a match with ROH, so best of luck to him. I think he deserves a shot.
Right. How about Ash? Ash Samuels lit.
That was literally like my brother from another mother for
Right.
many, many years. We always traveled together, spent nights at his house when we were young. We lived in Canada with Teddy Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I heard all about that.
Just over there.
Right.
Lee, you're a bad influence, but yeah, Ash Samuels is definitely a cool guy. He was always he looked out for us a lot.
He hits me up every once in a while when he wants to cook something. He'll hit me up on Instant Messenger on Facebook. How long do I cook this for? I'm like, I said, I'll help you anytime you want. But you could just Google that too.
He's getting,
We only got a minute left, dude.
all right.
One more name, and I had CM Punk. 'Cause I didn't have very good things about Punk when I was catering.
Well, it was hit or miss with Punk. Like, you couldn't really read him that well. You know, he kept to himself. When we did talk to him, he was cool. You know, I remember one time he came up to me, "Hey, you guys!" Right before he went to WWE, one of his shows there, he made it a point to walk up. And say, you and the other Special K guys, you guys come a long way, and really proud of you guys. You guys have grown a lot. I've watched you grow, and I know you guys are gonna do well. Just keep it up, So I didn't really have a problem with him. I didn't think he was an asshole or anything. I think he misunderstood.
Yeah.
Because he's so real. You know.
Right.
There's things he has a code on. He has a philosophy, and if you go against that, he can't respect you. And he's not afraid to say, I don't respect you because I don't respect your lifestyle. I don't respect the way you are or how you act. He'll make it known. I think a lot of people didn't like that about him because he's just honest.
Right.
Look what happened with him in WWE.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of that happened because he didn't feel like he should at his tongue. I'm just assuming from
I hear you
about him.
Right, absolutely.
What happened?
Well, listen.
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he might have been a little misunderstood too. Listen, we're out of time, but I want to ask you: Do you think maybe we could do this again in a few months down the line? Because we didn't even half touch this list at all. I wanted to talk about Canada, all that stuff. So maybe I'll hit you up in a few months.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, that's it. Lord Indigo. If you've never seen him wrestle, you go to YouTube, punch in Deranged Lord Indigo, put in Deranged ROH JPW, and that's about it. Thank you very much for coming on. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
You're welcome, Leo.
All right.
It's good talking to you.
You too. Peace!
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.